I just want everybody to know out there, everyone listening, I think Shrek was secretly made by George Lucas to reboot his Star Wars franchise, subliminally.
Yes.
They don't want us to know about it, but it is the same movie, just reskinned. Honestly, they didn't even make a new movie, they just took Star Wars and animated over top of it. And they're like, if we turn Han Solo into an ogre, no one will know. Hey everybody, welcome to Fess Up, where the Fess sisters help spice up your conversations with unique and thought-provoking questions. That's right, we're breaking the ice with a sledgehammer! My name is Amy, I am the oldest Fess.
I am Marissa, I am the middlest Fess.
And I'm Ina, and I am the youngest Fess. Do you ever have, a professor or a boss or something who just thinks they're real cute? Thinks that they could just require you to do stupid stuff because we're a family. Because
Jesus.
My professor literally canceled class, but forced us to come in and make snowmen together because he thinks he's cute, and he's not cute.
What the fuck? Did he message you to say, hey guys, I'm canceling class, but you still have to come in? Or did you just come in and he's like, hey, I'm not doing any classwork, but we're making fucking snowmen and you can't go home?
No, he literally sent an email.
Oh god.
He sends 5 emails per day, and they're all really long.
What the fuck? You're his diary.
Literally. So he sent an email that goes, we are doing the 2nd annual choir snowman building extravaganza.
Oh my god.
I about pooped myself. He said, we're not gonna sing on Friday. You have to come and make a snowman, and you're not allowed to leave until you've made a snowman. But see, it got really cold, and the snow turned to powder, and it literally wasn't packing snow. But the professor refused to actually make a snowman himself, so he refused to accept that literally nobody could physically make a snowman because the snow will not pack together.
I love how he said, let's all build snowmen, except me. I'm gonna make you do it.
Right?
Literally!
I would have literally found a loophole and on my phone, drawn a picture of a snowman and leaned it against a tree and pointed to it because I'm like, I can't get it with the snow, but here you go. I made a snowman.
That's hilarious.
Also, bold of him to assume that everyone had proper snow attire.
Right?
I know we live in a snowy area, but not everyone, as adults, own boots and snow pants suitable for excursions.
I genuinely don't have boots.
Also, not everyone's from there. Some people have got to be from out of state and not realized.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he had the grad assistants bring some extra gloves and stuff. So obviously that was good enough. Anyway, so I had to take giant, gross, dirty ice chunks, like the ice chunks that the snowplow bundles together, and stack them on top of each other. But then he had a long, lengthy conversation with me about the repertoire we're singing this semester.
Oh my
and I just do not care.
Goodness gracious.
So he was literally out here saying, hi, yeah, you can be done and go home when you're done with this, but then you finish first. And he's like, all right, I really need to know what you think of this song. I think we're going to have a Bach theme this year, and all our songs are going to be Bach adjacent. We can't do actual Bach because I've done too many Bach songs, but what do you think of that? Is that too existentialist for us?
Literally. This man, okay, I really, I don't usually try to disparage people just on a podcast, but this man is so something that literally this other girl in choir that I talked to told me that she went to her dentist in a different city.
What?
And he asked her about college, and she told her dentist about choir, and he goes, do you have insert professor name here? And she goes, yeah. And her dentist goes, I've heard that guy's crazy. Oh my God. What? So word is traveling.
Word
Jesus
is
Christ.
traveling.
Anyway, that's fun times when your professor decides your family even though you're required to be there and it's a half-credit class.
Oh my god.
Well, don't worry about disparaging him on this podcast. I doubt he does anything but listen to, like, classical music.
Oh, it's his life.
Yeah, we're not his genre.
He literally told me during our discussion of the repertoire that he doesn't ever think about anything other than choir. He forgets we have other classes. And I'm like, this is obvious.
What a doofus. Yeah, he's out here like, hi guys, get frostbite for me.
It was 12 degrees.
It was cold as balls yesterday. I know that I live 6 hours away from you guys right now, but it was cold as balls in New York City, so I can only imagine how cold it was up there.
I know, plus wind chill.
Right. And then also the fact that it's a Friday and it's almost everyone's last class of the day, and we have to make snowmen instead of going home.
Is that not what you want to do?
I mean, I like making a snowman when I want to make a snowman. That's the only time.
I don't want to build a snowman. With my choir teacher, please. Let me go home right now so I can sleep. Or maybe eat. I do not want to freeze. Oh,
Literally.
This is coming together.
That was a great lyric.
Oh.
That was fabulous. That's exactly it.
He thinks we are a family, but we are not. This is a half-credit course.
I don't want to build a snowman.
Yeah.
Please don't make me build a snowman.
Let me leave.
Just say it. Let me die.
Oh.
Wow, that song literally wrote itself, and I think that he should add it to his repertoire.
It's not classical enough.
Oh, well, he did do a song from Frozen in the women's choir last semester.
Did he?
So.
Was it the na na
Yeah,
na?
it was that one.
Yeah, of course it was.
Why?
Yeah, it was
do
for the
people
winter
to do that
holiday
so-
concert.
That's so fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
Well, he's also obsessed with the country Sweden. Literally, he has at least 3 pieces from Swedish composers every semester, and all he ever talks about is Sweden. And there was this Swedish choir group that commissioned a piece from us so that we would send them a recording of us singing to them, and they'd put it on their website. And apparently, this was a big deal.
It sounds pretty big.
I mean, I love Sweden a lot, so I can relate to this, but he's too much for me.
He's really... I could spend a whole podcast talking about this man.
I cannot. So let's go to our first question.
Yes, question.
Here is our first question. Why are stairs the first thing in any house's entrance? Are we supposed to come home and immediately go to our rooms?
Yes, you are grounded.
Literally. Oh my god. Like, the weird thing to me, and the reason why I even thought of this question in the first place, is like, there's a couple houses that you'll go into that don't have stairs immediately, and they have them like tucked away in their kitchen, and I'm like, that's so strange. And that had me thinking, wait, why is that strange? No one goes straight upstairs when they come inside. Why is that the opening of a home?
Literally.
Also, it just feels like it's more unsafe because if somebody breaks into your house, the first thing they can do is run upstairs and stab you.
Such a good point.
Like,
Literally. Like, I feel like bedrooms are supposed to be private.
It's an invitation up to your room.
it's also bad because even if they have no interest in murdering you, they can come in, they're upstairs, so they won't hear me when I sneak downstairs and steal all their stuff because they've portioned themselves far away from where I'm going to their living room to take their PS5.
Also, a lot of people, when they throw like a house party, right?
Mhm.
Especially like adult house parties, the rooms are off limits.
Yeah.
And yet the first thing you do when you come into a house is you look up the stairs.
Yeah. The rooms are off limits except the parents will, like, especially in an adult house party, they will do a tour of the whole house so everyone can see and, like, force you to look in all of their children's rooms.
Just so you know that they're clean.
Yeah, it's like a power play to be like, oh, look, my children clean. Has this been dirty for 4 years straight? Yes, but today it's clean, so you think that I know how to parent my kids really well.
Yeah, and then you have to go home and tell your kids, well, Aunt Cindy's children are always cleaning their house.
I went right into Billy's room, and I could eat off that floor.
Occasionally, too, if they're having a big gathering, you can put coats on the bed in the master bedroom as an overflow zone.
That is an overflow zone, you're right.
That's traditional.
But that gets into some risky territory, you know? Because it's like the overflow zone is in there and eventually somebody's gonna wander into your room because they have to get something out of their purse or they're like ready to go home so they gotta go dig their coat out from everybody else's coats. And like, what if they just like get a little, I don't know, they're a little curious. They're like, oh, well, Cindy's downstairs. Let me just walk over here. And they're like, ooh, jewelry, Cindy. How big is your earring collection? And then they see Cindy's side table where everyone keeps their sex toys. And they're like, oh, I wonder what could be in this drawer. Because they're stupid, I guess, and don't realize everyone keeps their sex toys there. They open the drawer and they're like, oh, Cindy, my goodness. And it's either like my sex toy drawer and they're like, you are crazy! Or it's like the sex toy drawer I opened when I was a child, and I was like, that is pathetic! And bought that person sex toys later in life because I remember how pathetic their drawers. But either way, that's getting into some weird territory. People can get grabby hands with your jewelry. People can get all up in your personal business. People can lay on your bed and watch your TV that's mounted up there because everyone's got that now. I don't really know why.
So that you never have to go downstairs again.
But then we do. Like, this is the problem with the stairs. Why isn't everyone's house just one big bedroom?
Studio apartments.
If everyone put their kitchen upstairs, they would never go downstairs again.
That's true. I wonder, now that you say that, is there any house out there that has a kitchen upstairs?
Yes, I've seen them. I frequently look at Zillow for funsies.
Oh, say. Is that not a normal hobby?
I don't do it.
And sometimes the kitchen is upstairs and it's always weird. But the weirdest is when just the dining room is upstairs. And I'm like, why would you do that? Then you have to walk upstairs with all of your food that you prepared in the kitchen. But this has happened frequently.
This feels like they have a spare room, a bonus room, but they never really set it up right. So the realtor comes in and they're like, we're just going to make this the dining room. No one will know. Or no one will even think twice about it. We'll just stage it as the dining room because we have to sell this house, but you can't have a bonus room with nothing in it.
I guess, but they're not a very good real estate agent then because you're supposed to have less stuff in your house so that people can envision their own stuff in it.
No, I'm not saying that you add more stuff. I'm saying that instead of an empty room, you put a table in the room so that people are like, here is an object that shows you things in relation to other things, you know?
I'm just imagining somebody buying that house and having a dining room upstairs and then, like, for Thanksgiving, having to transport a feast upstairs.
Oh, God.
Literally. It's so strange.
And just, like, tripping on the stairs and dropping your dessert all down them.
That would be so tragic.
Like, you could not have any child's birthday party because imagine if you did not make that cake up the stairs. The horror that would cause.
Devastating.
Also, if those stairs were carpeted, anything falling on the carpeted stairs on the way up would be a bitch and a half to clean.
And worst of all, the guests show up before you can clean it, and it's the first thing they see.
What is the reason for... Can we come up with any reason for this? Like, is the person who designed the first house also a kleptomaniac?
It's literally just a giant come hither.
I think it's just to maximize your space because you have an entryway, so there's not that much that can happen in there, so you just put the stairs in there too, because where else are you going to put them?
No, the reason is because stairs are impressive. You know, they're like,
right.
Look at how high my ceilings are. Look how many stories my house is. You have to bask in it.
You know, actually, wait. That is a good point. Because I live in New York City, so I don't exactly have the same situation. But everyone knows that the higher up you are in the apartment building, the more impressive it is. Unless you live in a stairs-only building with no elevator, then it's not impressive. But once you're in, like, the fancy buildings with the doorman or whatever, all the rich people want to be as close to the penthouse as they can be. Maybe it's just our subconscious need as humans to be as tall as possible. I don't know why, but we all don't like being short. All women, like, have an innate desire to marry tall men if you're straight.
And wear high heels.
and wear high heels. And the reason we want to marry tall men is because we don't realize this, but it's our internal need to create a child that has tall genes in it, so it could be tall.
And we want to climb the social ladder.
Climb the social ladder. We want to climb the stairs and go right into our bedrooms when we get home.
It's like how cats like to be on the highest point in the home. Apparently humans also want to just be high. And that's why we take drugs.
Humans are just cats, I think. Like, really? I've always said this. Like, a lot of people are like, I'm a dog person. I'm like, yeah, but you're more like a cat. I think humans are more cat-like than we realize.
Oh, I'm very cat-like.
Well, cats have much more human attitudes.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people don't like them, because they don't like other people, you know?
Yeah.
So having a standoffish, judgmental pet, they can't handle it.
They want a pet that thinks they're a god instead of the pet being the god.
Well, also, I mean, if you think about it, I read this somewhere and it blew my mind. Dog people, you have to kind of subtly wonder, do they just really want something they can control? Because you can't really control a cat, but you could teach a dog to do literally anything. There are people who make their dogs bring them beers. I'm like, you lazy fuck.
I mean, dogs will worship you.
Mm-hmm.
Cats usually won't.
I get annoyed by dogs. I'm gonna be real. Dogs coming up to me, like, forcing me to pay attention to them 24/7. I get annoyed. It is too clingy. I can't do it.
Dogs literally show up and they're like, you look delicious, and then try licking you everywhere.
Yeah, right? I'm like, hi, I don't want to French you. Please get your tongue away from my mouth. What? And then their owner's like, oh my god, they're so cute. And I'm like, I have makeup on and it's off now. It's in your dog's digestive system. I hope it's safe.
Yep.
How about a bit?
A bit.
This bit is called Strange Connections.
Ooh.
So I saw this meme, and they didn't have a credit, but it gave the greatest strange connection ever. So we're gonna do this one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Han Solo and Shrek.
What?
This is perfect.
I don't see how.
Well, they both have animal sidekicks.
They do. They both have talking animal sidekicks.
Yes.
That are brown.
They are both brown.
You could argue Donkey's more gray.
Well, yeah.
No, you're right.
But they're both comic relief.
Yes.
To be real, I think that Han is the comic relief, but
That's a strong stance.
you're right.
They both have one-syllable names. Han, Shrek.
Yeah. They both fall in love with a princess.
Ah, yes, a princess who does her hair fun.
Oh, yeah.
A princess who reluctantly falls in love with them.
Yes.
A princess who can beat people up.
Ooh, yes. A badass princess.
They're both much taller than her also.
They are both sexy as fuck.
The princesses or Han and Shrek?
Both.
All four of the above.
They both wear a vest.
Yes, and a white shirt underneath.
Oh my god, they have the same outfit.
Oh, wow.
They do.
This is going deeper than I thought.
They both smell like shit.
Probably, yeah.
They do, especially after Han goes in the fucking trash compactor.
You know Han doesn't shower like that.
Wait a minute, they both go into terrifying places and get chased by enemies trying to kill them.
Yes.
They both reluctantly are forced to go on a heroic mission.
They are
Yes.
forced to go on a heroic mission, yes.
They both live in hunks of junk.
Yeah.
Fair, yeah.
But hunks of junk everyone wants to be in, though.
Yes!
Literally. if you say you don't want to live in Shrek's swamp, you're wrong.
They're all living there. Everyone's trying to get in that Millennium Falcon. Honestly, both of their things that they use to fly are well known.
Yeah.
Like, the Millennium Falcon has a very long history, and everyone knows the dragon that Donkey fucked.
This is a question for another day, but did she feel it?
She had to have liked it enough.
The question is, did Chewbacca fuck the Millennium Falcon?
Chewie does go inside of the Millennium Falcon, but that's not quite the same.
Chewie and Donkey are both so small that they could fit their whole body inside.
Inside the
Oh my
flying machine?
god, why would you say that?
I bet Han would just straight up eat an onion like an apple. He seems like he would do that.
He seems like he had no choice at many points in his life. than to just eat a fucking onion like an apple.
They both use humor as a defense mechanism. Like sarcastic, teasing humor
Yeah.
is their way of communication.
They're both loners in the fact that Han's last name is Solo, and then Shrek is a loner.
And Shrek has no last name.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see the Han Solo movie, but I did hear that he, didn't have a last name, and the reason he's called Han Solo is because someone asked him what his full name is, and he's like, I go solo.
So actually, neither of them have last names. You're right. That's it.
They both live in universes where they're surrounded by different creatures.
True.
Fair.
I feel like they both enjoy getting drunk.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I feel like they both fart a lot.
Probably.
Probably.
Han gets frozen in carbonite. Shrek gets covered in mud.
That's not the same.
It's not even remotely similar.
I mean, okay, you could say they both went through a period of time where they were something else. In Han's case, he was a slab of carbonite. And in Shrek's case, he was a very handsome human man.
Hey, wait though. Wait. The pose that Han makes in the carbonite is the same pose Shrek uses to roar at people.
That's true!
Oh, that is not wrong. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, God.
Wait, why are they the same guy?
I'm telling George Lucas inspired Shrek. I can't get over they wear the same outfit. This is fucking hilarious to me. They really do.
This is the meme where they're like, what are the differences between these pictures? And the person's like, it's the same picture.
What else is there?
I feel like that's about the crux of it.
Yeah.
I was going to get into something about the fact that they both have twins or triplets in their histories. Han fucks a twin, and Shrek fathers triplets.
That's true. That's fair. Also, Shrek marries a woman whose family does not approve. And although Leia's family is dead before they ever get to meet Han, but they would not approve. They would
not approve. I can see that scene going on, like, Han, Leia, whatever her dad's name was, whatever her mom's name was. And then Chewbacca's like, oh.
Yeah, I can see their meeting going pretty much just like that dinner did.
Yeah, I think that is right. Actually, they both have magical foes.
Yes.
That's true.
Fairy godmother and, all of the Force users.
Anyone Sith.
Yes.
They both have blonde men who at some point try to steal their girl.
Oh, yes! Yes, they do! Shit! Oh, I like that.
Wait. Can we talk about how Luke kind of wears a similar color scheme and an outfit to Prince Charming?
With the white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they both have deep insecurity under their large bravado. Like, Han was really worried that Leia was going to be with Luke instead.
As he fucking should be.
Shrek was so worried about Fiona picking someone else that he turned himself into a human, which was a big mistake, but also super sexy.
Right. He also did get really upset when he overheard her in that first movie talking about how ogres are gross and disgusting. And he's like, shit, she's talking about me, sad face. When in reality, she was talking about herself, who is an ogre. And that's kind of like the moment when Han was talking to Leia about Luke, and he was like, you love him, don't you? And she's like, yeah, I love him so much. And he's like, fucking be with him then. And he throws a fit, and she's like, bitch, he my brother, though. Like, he is my literal brother.
I love how she says it as if he should know.
Wait a minute. Fiona is like, I am an ogre. And Leia is like, I am a Skywalker. Their secrets are the same.
Also, Fiona and Leia are both more badass than their counterparts.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, there is just so much here.
I think they both murder men.
Who does Shrek kill?
You know how many people I think Shrek killed in that arena scene alone? He also kind of indirectly, but also kind of directly killed Farquaad.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Also, as an ogre, he probably ate people.
He does
But
have
he had
jars full of
eyeballs
eyeballs
in his, like as an olive on his martini.
All right,
like,
all right.
They never specified what kind of eyeballs, but they were probably people.
They looked pretty human.
He absolutely would kill a
Yep,
man.
There it is. There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, he would kill a man. Yeah, so I just want everybody to know out there, everyone listening, I think Shrek was secretly made by George Lucas to reboot his Star Wars franchise, subliminally.
Yes.
They don't want us to know about it, but it is the same movie, just reskinned. They just, honestly, they didn't even make a new movie, they just took Star Wars and animated over top of it. And they're like, if we turn Han Solo into an ogre, no one will know. And they're like, but what about Fiona? She looks so much like Princess Leia and she's so badass. They're like, no one's gonna know because there's literally a sexy ogre right next to her. And they're like, okay.
I mean, they both have mega iconic braids at one point.
Yeah.
It's so clear to me now.
I know, I can't believe we've been blind for all this time.
The world has been blind to it.
But we've uncovered the truth.
It's time to speak out.
The strangest connection is that the Venn diagram between these two movies is a circle.
Complete overlap.
Well, guys, this is where our ads would go if we had any. And we don't. So this question requires, like, a slight backstory. I saw this image. Again, there was no credit on it, but it was like a text chain, a message chain between two friends. Friend one says, "What are your adjectives?" And the other friend says, "You mean my pronouns?" And friend one says, "No, I already know your pronouns. What are your adjectives?" It's in all caps. That's why I'm saying it like that. And friend two says, "IDK, what are yours?" And friend one says, "Noisy and chaotic." And it made me laugh very hard. And so with that text chain in mind, what are your two adjectives? I know mine right off the rip.
All right, go ahead.
Mine are horny and effervescent.
Effervescent.
Okay, Twilight.
What? Is that a Twilight thing?
There's a bunch of memes about how Edward says the word effervescent a lot.
Does he really?
I do not remember this, but I mean, it's been a minute.
I don't know if it's a real thing, but there's memes about it.
I googled it, and the first Google result is 5 effervescent Twilight memes.
Exactly.
Jesus fucking Christ. For everyone who's unaware, effervescent means 1, of a liquid giving off bubbles, fizzy, or 2, vivacious and enthusiastic. And both describe me. I do give off bubbles.
Okay, farts, Mickey. I really never thought that I would be asked a question like this, and I think it's hard to reduce a person to 2 adjectives.
We do it with characters all the time.
I'm trying to be serious, but my mind was just like bold and brash.
More like belongs in the trash.
My adjectives could be creative
Yes?
and goofy.
Creative and goofy. That seems right.
I feel like these are at least what I strive to be. Whimsical and benevolent.
Benevolent. You and Amy are on a transcendent plane of thesaurus words. Meanwhile, I'm out here like, goofy.
Please tell me the definition of benevolent, because I thought that it had something to do with, like, philanthropy, too.
It's well-meaning and kindly,
Oh, okay.
serving a charitable rather than a profit-making purpose.
Yeah, that's the, like, philanthropy part that I was thinking about.
And whimsical is playfully quaint or fanciful, especially in an appealing and amusing way.
Hey. Well, heck yeah. Guess what, guys?
Wow.
What?
It's time for... What two are you? What two, what we do in the shadows, characters are you?
Yes.
I also love the movie, but we will be doing What We Do in the Shadows TV show characters for this one.
Because Ina and I haven't seen the movie yet.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately have one to start with, okay?
Yeah?
Ina is my favorite character, Guillermo.
Yes.
Guillermo.
Guillermo is ridiculously nice, puts everybody before himself, to his detriment sometimes, and he has a goal in mind, and he is very patient to wait to get what he wants. Also, I think if Ina ever were to kill somebody, it would be on accident. And that is Guillermo's whole thing, is that he's accidentally a vampire killer.
Yes.
Like 1,000 times over until he finally embraces that shit.
Yes.
I feel like I would never be a killer, but if I were going to be a killer, I would be really good at it.
I feel that's true.
That's fair. He's got glasses, he's a cutie pie, he's more on the timid side when it comes to, when compared with all of the other characters on the show. He is probably one of the most timid, but he's very kind, and he does on occasion get fed up and storm out or throw a little hissy fit or whatever, but he always comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all very Ina to me. Like, I was watching that show, and Guillermo is my husband. I love him. He is my favorite character. But I also knew from the first second he was on screen, I was like, this is Ina. This is most Ina character to character, I think.
All right.
I think that Amy is Nadia.
Nadia!
I think Amy is Nadia because of a lot of reasons. She's just kind of like a boss. She does what she wants, but she also is romantic.
And still loves sex and orgies.
Loves sex and is not ashamed of that at all. Like, there's so many times in the show where she just like spreads her legs and points at her vag and she's like, remember me? Like, that's like one of her like trademarks.
Yes, that is very me. I also do have to say that my ideal relationship would be something like what Nadja and Laszlo have, because I would just love to have that ideal world where you are like fully committed to a lifetime with somebody, and yet there's absolutely no judgment or jealousy or whatever when they talk about their past sexual experiences, when they want to have new sexual experiences. Because there are so many times where Laszlo just kind of like looks at somebody. Like there was one time he looked at Nandor and was like, you wanna go and do something real quick? Because they both were like horny for some reason. But yeah, I love that they're like hosting the vampire orgies together and don't care because they're all gonna be having sex with everybody. I just love that they can be sexually open without it compromising their relationship at any point. But yeah, so circling back to me as Nadja, I do feel like that is me. I do agree.
Yeah. She also like wants to be the boss at all times. And
that's fair. Sometimes
people aren't into that. And so she gets into arguments with them about it. That's a whole thing.
True.
It's a whole thing in real life and in the show.
I mean, there's a reason I am the leader of this podcast. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like Marissa is Nandor.
I love Nandor. He's my favorite.
I know. So Nandor was known as Nandor the Relentless because he was so feared in battle he would go in and take over every country he went to just for the fucking hell of it. And honestly, because he just liked to fight. And Marissa, in her soul, is a little feisty vampire who would totally go and annihilate all of her enemies had she a sword to do it with.
Marissa would be a conqueror, for sure.
Absolutely. If Marissa was a dictator. And also, he has like a very deep connection with his horse. And Marissa definitely loves animals so deeply. And he's very funny, but he also is very stubborn. When he sets his mind to doing something, he is going to be doing it, even if it means ripping out his fangs every night. I have to point it out because it is too obvious. He is always ordering Guillermo around to do things. And who is Guillermo? Ina. And who does Marissa always has to get drinks and stuff? Ina.
I ask her because I know that she might.
Exactly.
I also just feel like Marissa would just decide to go into, like, the endless sleep thing.
I would be so overdramatic about it.
Also, like, sleeping for a long time is just something that is appealing to you.
Marissa does sleep a lot.
Definitely.
He definitely gets ideas in his head and, like, will stop at nothing until they are fulfilled, but then we'll move on to something else pretty much right away. That's very Marissa.
Also, would definitely be obsessed with the concept of her, like, 30th great-great-great-great-grandchild that's definitely, like, not even related to her anymore. But genetically, like...
I mean, what are you talking about? They will always be genetically related.
Well, yeah, but, like, barely at that point, because so many other genetics have gone into it.
But they're your descendant.
This is case and point made, honestly.
He also is silly.
Oh, yes, he also is very silly, and he's very funny. Oh, and there are times when he's been single for so long, and he will talk about it a lot of time, be like, I want what you and Nadja have, Laszlo. Like, you guys have somebody forever, but I don't have anyone. Now, he does not think about that most of the time, but when it does hit him, it hits him, like, so hard.
Yeah.
And that's a Marissa thing. She's, like, truly fine with being independent and on her own, but then, like, every once in a while, she'd be like, but, like, wouldn't it be nice to have, like, a significant other, though?
I am like Nandor in that I don't feel like dating, I just want the relationship.
There you go, yeah.
Okay, so this might be controversial, but I think that Ina is Colin Robinson.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I was, like, contemplating it, too.
Now, I don't mean that in any of the boring, mundane senses. I don't think that she's similar to an energy vampire in life, but she does know a lot about a lot of things, and she's fascinated by them. And they're not always necessarily mainstream things everyone wants to talk about, you know? She's very sweet and wants to have friends, and... I'm not saying she doesn't have friends, she definitely does, but I think she doesn't fit in with the mainstream crowd, like all those obnoxious basic bitches. She doesn't jive with them because they are not interested in cool stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, Colin likes weird things, and he's gonna talk about it.
That's true.
And, you know...
Colin just wants to be included.
Yeah.
He's just happy to be included. Yeah.
He's happy to be there. He just wants friends. And, you know, he gets them.
Yeah.
I think he's more likely to have a few close friends than, like, charming the general masses, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he has
Glasses.
He has glasses and a distinct shaped head. That is important to note. His head is very egg-shaped and Ina is very cube-shaped.
But Karina likes eggs.
Karina does like eggs. Mm-hmm.
But also, Colin is confident, and also he has his moments every once in a while. Especially one particular episode where he just meets all of his potential, and all of a sudden everyone realizes that he's more powerful than all of them combined.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And he does it just to prove a fucking point.
Yep.
Hashtag my grades in high school.
Yeah, honestly. He's very intelligent.
Also, he falls in love with a siren, not based on her magical spells, but like just like her, even though she's physically repulsive. He just literally doesn't mind because that's not what he cares about.
Also, I do want to say that he pulls. Like, Colin pulls. Because that siren was also, I think, legitimately into him as well.
Oh, yeah.
So he had that chick, but he also, at the beginning of the show, had that other energy vampire, the emotional vampire. So he's able to really pull. And Ina is a stunner, so...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, I have one for Marissa, and it's also controversial.
Okay.
The Baron.
Interesting. I'm interested to see why you think the Baron, though, because the Baron is fun.
Okay, Marissa is Baron Afadas. Okay, so, he's a silly guy, fearsome. Like, honestly, Marissa can be intimidating on many levels. But also, like, actually is just, like, a nice person. And, like, the Baron actually turns out to be quite the bro.
Yeah.
And Marissa's a bro.
He's super intimidating on the surface layer, but then he actually is low-key deeply chill.
Yes.
Yeah, literally deeply chill. That's Marissa. Like, Marissa is somehow both not chill and chill. And that's the Baron. Despite not having genitals, he is extremely good sexually, apparently. And, like, I'm not saying that I necessarily know much about Marissa's sex life or anything, and obviously Marissa has genitals, but...
I don't have a dick, though.
Right.
That's true.
Marissa does not have a penis, so...
So I can relate in that respect.
Yes.
True.
But, like, I just feel like Marissa has the energy of someone who would be able to be amazing at sex without even having any genitals. I don't know. Is that a weird thing to say about your sister?
Yes, probably, but whatever.
I just feel like Marissa's so creative. She would find a way. Yeah, so he's also just like, he's got high standards for things, but like at the end of the day, he'll live with whatever happens.
He did fully die. Like, he was literally buried under the ground for, like, a whole fucking season. And when he was dug up, he wasn't even mad about it.
Yeah.
He was like, oh yeah, I was fine. I just, like, kind of lived off the blood in the ground. You guys kill a lot of people. That was good for me.
He has a great sense of humor.
Had a nice nap.
Literally.
I mean, I think it didn't bother him so much because he's lived so long that even like a year underground is pretty much nothing, so.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
But also he sleeps a lot, and Marissa, like we talked about, sleeps a lot. And I just feel like Marissa would also have the weirdest family imaginable while also having the best family ever, which is what his family with the sire and the demon dog ends up being.
Really the best one.
Give me that show.
I feel like you just kind of, like, described to us. Marissa would have this, but it actually is happening right now. She has the best and weirdest family. You're, like, pretending like that's not the case in this exact moment.
Yeah. I mean, what is a family if not a ancient creature that only speaks an ancient language and can fly, plus a half-bodied, very dead undead person, and a puppy that breathes fire? That's a family.
Well, we definitely have a pet, that's for sure. And I do like people based on personality, not necessarily looks, so, I mean, I could look past Sire's, physical weirdness.
I love the sire!
The Sire is fabulous. He's kind of my fave.
I like how they hide him in, like, fucking Pennsylvania. They're like, we need a safe place to put the sire that nothing will ever happen to him, but we don't have to keep him in this cage anymore. And then they sent him to fucking Pennsylvania.
I mean, what happens in Pennsylvania?
That's why it's so funny.
Also, the Baron is bisexual and so is Marissa. There we go.
He has a lot of high ambitions as well. He wants to, he wants them to take over Staten Island and all of America.
But I do want to note, he has these ambitions, but he wants them to do it for him.
That's so true.
He's like, I want vampires to take over America, and you're gonna do it.
He has a frail body, and so do I.
Yeah.
That is true.
Also, he eats pizza just because, even though it's junk food to him.
Literally.
Yeah, it makes him so sick. Oh my god, that was hilarious.
I'm a junk eater.
Oh. Marissa is the bear in the end. Like.
Now it's just me.
Okay, we're gonna have to go with, hear me out, Simon the Devious.
I was thinking that was
Simon
too.
the Devious! I was not even thinking. I was like, oh, they could go with the guide or Charmaine. I did not think Simon the Devious, but I like it. I can see it already.
Okay, so Simon the Devious, he out here, he's like number one personality trait, charismatic.
Yes.
Also, he's in charge of fucking Manhattan because he has aspirations, he has ambition, and he took over Manhattan.
Yeah, and he has the drive.
He's also a party animal, and I just feel like she would have a ton of friends that all want to party with her, and she would kind of, show up at these lesser people's place, and like, if she's not a fan of them, she would low-key taunt them the way he does,
I just made you a thank you present in the shape of a hat.
He wants that witch's hat.
He wants that hat so bad.
It has an anus that sucks your head, and it feels real good, apparently.
Who doesn't want that? That sounds great to me.
Exactly. I don't want to say Amy isn't very smart, because she is. But also, I think sometimes she might overlook something obvious, like the witch's hat being cursed. She just doesn't care because she wants it so bad.
If Amy wants something, she wants it, and she will do anything to get it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Even if it blows up her club and gets her hit by a car.
Yeah. And then she has to live in a sewer with, I forget his name, but the fucking bad rapping guy.
There were a lot of weird people in that sewer. Also, while living in the sewer, having a terrible time, he was able to convince them he was still out here, like, kind of low-key thriving.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because he's a good actor.
He's a good actor, and he is charismatic, and he is awesome. He does have an air of sexual prowess, too. I think that they're all talking about they banged him, too.
Oh, absolutely they did.
I mean, he's Nick Kroll.
He is Nick Kroll.
He wears, like, real fun fashion. I just gotta point that out, too. That feels right to me.
I'm here for it. I was not expecting that, but it's right. All right, so in conclusion, Amy is Nadja and Simon the Devious, Marissa is Nandor the Relentless and Baron Afinas, and Ina is Guillermo and Cullen Robinson.
Amazing.
That's beautiful. All right, I have a question.
Yes.
This was inspired by a tweet from @RamenCo. Is Joe Exotic Steve Irwin's Wario?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes, in every way.
Definitely. For one thing, they have very vague physical similarities, the way that Mario and Wario do.
Yes.
In that they're both white men, and they both have a signature style.
Blonde.
And they're blonde.
Yes. And I mean, this isn't super accurate because both of them do have mustaches before, but Wario gets like a very distinct mustache, and Joe Exotic has a very distinct mustache.
He really does.
When Steve Irwin has no mustache, but
Because he looks better without.
he does.
You know, some people look good with a mustache, some don't.
I couldn't imagine Steve Irwin with a mustache.
Steve Irwin was handsome the way he was.
He was. They also are very into animals, but one is into animals in a great way, and one is into animals in an evil way.
Literally.
A very exploitative.
Just a selfish way, I suppose.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin is so wholesome, and then Joe Exotic is like the least wholesome human ever. So.
Yes.
Wario would kill a man. Joe Exotic tried to kill a woman. So.
He really did.
That woman had really killed a man, and I refuse to believe otherwise, but.
That's the tea. That's the tea.
That is the tea.
Also, I feel like Wario was pretty unaware of how sucky he is, and Joe Exotic definitely has no idea that he sucks.
Yeah, Joe Exotic thinks he's like the most amazing human ever.
What other celebrities are Warios and Marios of each other?
Well, now that's a good question. I feel like there's a ton of them, and they're all on the tip of my tongue.
Literally. Does Miley Cyrus count as a Wario of herself?
I mean, honestly, you're not wrong.
Absolutely.
I feel like she oscillates between her own Mario and her own Wario constantly. Just when you think that she's Mario again, she Warios herself.
She just went from being so classy to being like really deeply weird in a way that creeps me out.
But then she definitely went back again.
She did.
And then she definitely went back again.
Yeah.
When she was, like, engaged to whatever Hemsworth, she was, like, pretty much back again. And, like, she oscillates.
She currently has, like, an 80s style mullet situation, and that is
heinous.
Not a look that I enjoy. I have another one.
Yes.
I think that Gordon Ramsay and Guy Fieri are each other's Marios and Warios, but unlike what people might think physically, Guy Fieri is the Mario and Gordon Ramsay is the Wario. Because one just like this wholesome, nice guy who just wants to make fun, hilarious shows and help people out and officiate gay marriages and like live his best life, making food, being like a famous chef guy and eating lots of stuff.
But like not even always gourmet food. Like he's this amazing chef, right? But some of his most famous restaurants sell literally just chicken with a bunch of amazing dipping sauces. And it's great.
Hell yeah. Then, like, in contrast, there's Gordon Ramsay who's gonna scream at everything that moves. It's gotta be posh. It's gotta be, like, 5-star Michelin restaurant quality, or you're over. He also likes to make a lot of shows, but he likes to make a lot of shows that are mean. And he does like to eat things when he's trying to cut the spice on a fucking Hot Ones episode. That still makes me laugh to this day, that fucking episode. But they're just, like, so opposite one another.
They are.
Can we talk about how if they were to make a live-action Mario movie right now, Jeff Goldblum would be the perfect Waluigi and Danny DeVito would be the perfect Wario?
I'm here for that, but I want, and I don't know how this will work, maybe just Mario and Luigi can be younger, but I want Michael Cera to be Luigi.
Yes! That's amazing. Yes.
He has a similar strange, unique energy that Jeff Goldblum has, you know?
That's true. He just would exaggerate it.
Yeah.
It would be good.
I will also accept Jack Black for Wario.
Ooh, yeah.
Or Mario, though.
Oh, that's true. He could lead that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Why isn't he voicing Wario? That would be fun.
Right. All right, on that note, that is all the ice breaking we can do today. If we break any more ice, we're gonna give Hollywood all the cast they need for that new Mario movie, and we have to let them do some of the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to send us a question, message us on Facebook or Instagram at Fess Up Podcast. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Send us an email at fessuppodcast@gmail.com. Tweet a question at us at fessup_podcast. And don't forget to use the hashtag UbFest. Send us new questions or let us know what happened when you used our icebreakers with your friends. Share our podcast with everyone you know and get the word out there. But your 3 wacky friends. Woo! That's it for me. I've been Amy Fess.
I've been Marissa Fess.
And I've been Ina Fess. And also, no, I do not want to build a snowman.
Bye! I don't want to build a snowman. With my choir teacher, please. Let me go home right now so I can sleep. Or maybe eat. I do not want to freeze. He thinks we are a family, but we are not. This is a half-credit course.
I don't want to build a snowman. Please don't make me build a snowman.
Let me leave.